Kevin.
Present.
Terry.
Present.
Let the record reflect all 5 board members are present, and we do have a quorum. And if my voice ends up going to a squeak, I will defer then to Kevin, our vice president, to continue the meeting. Condolences at this time. Please join me in a moment of silence for Larry Michael, our maintenance person at Borden, in the passing of his father-in-law. So please join me in a moment of silence remembering this family. Thank you. Recognitions. We have lots of groups to recognize. I wish I had the whole list of names, but I'm sure I would leave someone out. We want to congratulate the Borden girls team for winning regional and wish them good luck in semi-state this coming Saturday. From both schools, campuses, we have several people who excelled at solo and ensemble. We have some who have excelled in wrestling, diving, and then here at Henryville, especially the elementary, the robotics. And on March the 1st, there's going to be a team competing, at least one team competing, and one team has already made qualified for the state level. So we congratulate them and wish them all the luck. Emergency additions, Dr. Comer.
Yes, I'd ask for an emergency addition approval of the board of an emergency project for the construction of a discus area and shot put area located at the Henryville High School track.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve the emergency addition?
I'll make that motion.
Kevin, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Terry, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Beth, did we have anyone for community input?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Legislative update, Terry, our legislative liaison.
Well, it's been a busy season in the state legislature, and there's budget cuts coming throughout the state, and the school's going to be hit with a little bit of it too. So one of the things that's going on right now might not be getting much traction or knowledge about is IHSAA. Legislators, not the IHSA, has set some new standards and new statutes, and it looks like many states have or are considering open transfers with no restrictions, and so the state of Indiana is going to go to one open transfer for athletics during the season, before the season, for whatever reason. It should be purely athletics. They can transfer a second time with a 30-day non-compete, and there is a provision there that there's going to be no recruiting allowed, but I think that's going to be hard to turn down for many schools and coaches. So it's going to, I think it should concern the smaller schools around the bigger school areas like us, is if they can start transferring for athletics only. I think we need to keep an eye on that a little bit too. So just expect that to come into place. So on the budget-wise, the present property tax relief, the proposal for that's Senate Bill 1. On the last estimate of how that's going to affect different school corporations with the reduction in revenue. For us, it's went from $1 million the next 3 years each to the new projection is in 2026, we're going to take a loss of revenue. This is towards the general fund at $236,660. The second year, 2027, is going to be $457,000, and the third year, in 2028, is going to be estimated at a loss of $660,000. So over the next 3 years, we're looking at $1,354,000 lost revenue if it goes as it is right now. It's still a moving target. It could get a little better, could get a little worse, but we are going to take a hit. And some of the other things we have to remember is that now, you know how the education money follows the student. Also, the general fund money is probably going to start following the student to non-public schools. So we've got to take that into consideration. That's an additional loss we might be looking at and preparing for. And then there's also the thing with, and I don't know how this affects us, but a lot of non-public schools are catching on to this. They'll take transfers in, and then on the fall count day, they'll say that they just can't educate that child anymore. Well, the money has already went to the school student, the school before the student transferred. And so now they'll come back into the system, and that school they're coming back into did not receive any income for that also. So that's starting to get addressed, but the legislators told us it's probably 2 or 3 years down the road before they find an answer for that. There's going to be some new expectations for pre-K and kindergarten. I don't know what the added cost is going to be. If it's going to be like the free book issue, they're going to throw it out, the schools take care of it, and they'll sort it out later, so that could be another expense that we're looking at, some additions on that. And then we know there's definitely going to be an increase in teacher salary. We don't know how that's going to be funded yet, which I'm not saying they don't deserve it, they do, but we got to realize that there may be some additional funding put on the school system without the state supporting that completely. And there's some talk of chaplains being allowed as counselors in schools coming up the next school year. And there's some restrictions on what they can talk to a student about, but it is a good way for the schools to help supplement the lack of counselors in the public schools. So that's on board. Another thing for you guys who are going to run for a board member, as a board member in the next election, you're probably going to have to run as a Democrat or Republican. And it's going to be a little bit tougher to run. You know, right now we have to get 10 signatures for sports to run. Well, if that goes through, most other elections in Indiana, it takes a 2% of everybody that voted for that position the last year. So you guys are going to be looking at several more signatures you're going to have to get. The ICE issue, I'm sure Mr. Comer's got his thoughts on that. The state really didn't have an answer in the legislature this year how they're going to handle that. They'll let the schools kind of decide on their own what's going to happen with that. And then a minor thing is they're requesting that all schools have a cash option at all their extracurricular activities. Evidently, some of the schools have put a card only, and it's causing some problems with kids not having cash on them. So anyway, there's more depth to that. If you have any questions, let me know.
Can I ask a question? Sure. Terry, because I've heard mixed messages with the partisan elections for board members coming up. Did they talk about, there's a handful of districts in the state that still have appointed boards. I'd heard back and forth that they were going to eliminate the appointed boards and have that to where did they mention that at all? Anything about appointed?
They probably don't like appointed boards because even the couple legislators I talked to Friday have commented. I said, "Is this a power grab by the parties?" And they said, "Definitely." Mm-hmm. You know, they want board members to be to fall under the calling of the county party chief. So yeah, they're probably going to try to do away with those. And then but on the other side of that, Mr. Comer, is if you're in a district where 50% of your students transfer to a non-public school, that they're going to do away with the voted-in board, and they're going to appoint a board in that situation. So they're on kind of both sides of the track on that.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be interesting.
But that's something the big school corporations. There's 5 corporations in Indiana right now would qualify to have their boards disbanded and be an appointed board, and Indianapolis is one of them.
Yeah, I read that. Thank you.
Superintendent report, Dr. Comer.
We've made it through. Well, I don't know if we've made it through yet. We're surviving the latest illness that has been on us. I can't thank the principals and the teachers enough. I know synchronous learning is not the option we would all like to do, but I cannot brag on the teachers and the principals and the parents and the kids from every angle I've seen it. They not only did they make it through it, they've thrived in it. They've done just a terrific job. I've talked in our monthly discussion with the Teachers Association, and I was able to thank them personally. They felt like it went smoother than what they thought. I think a lot of that credit goes to our IT department too. They put some supports in place to help some folks with some reminders, not only for the kids, but also for the teachers too. So it was good. I at least from a standpoint, I like it that we've got that tool in the toolbox now we can use if we need to. I think we've got past our comfort level and our folks are doing okay. And I wish I could say we were done with synchronous learning, but there might be some weather or something coming up. And so we might get to try that even some more here. Hint, hint. In the near future, we'll just wait and see. But that's the biggest thing. I did want to add one other congratulations too. A couple weekends ago, Henryville High School, the music department hosted, I'm probably butchering this saying it wrong, a drumline / auxiliary something. I don't really know what I was seeing, but it was amazing. I didn't understand it all, but it was impressive. Want to give much credit to the folks that put that on every year and ran it was smooth. And I mean, this place was packed with band kids, and the crowd was great. And those kids, they work just as hard as our athletes do. So they often don't get the accolades that our athletes do. And those kids work really, really hard. And I got to see Henryville perform, and we would have been really proud of our kids. They did a super, super job. So I want to make sure we recognize that group.
Understood. There's like 30 different schools here.
I believe that's right. At least 30. There could have been 300, Terry. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff going on, but I can't believe how organized and smooth it ran. And as superintendent, my biggest concern is, what's this building going to look like the next day? Because we got to have school. I'm sure it was the band parents and the boosters. The school looked great. They were ready to go for school on that Monday. The school looked terrific. So that was very, very pretty.
Students stayed and they worked.
Yeah, I'm sure, Ms. Spicer, I'm sure that took an army to get that place cleaned up, and it looked great. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Moving on then to consent agenda, Dr. Comer.
Yeah, with the board permission, I'd like to promote items 1, 2, and 3 for approval.
Do you want to name those and say?
Do you want to go through 4 and then just do it all as one consent agenda? Yeah, and under number 4, personnel, I'd like to recommend, I'd like to recognize some resignations. First, we have a resignation for Lisa Gardner as Director of Curriculum and Zarek Coates as Henryville High School English teacher. I'd like to thank both of them for her service, especially want to thank Mrs. Gardner for her commitment to this district, and she's much of the success of this district definitely falls on Lisa's shoulders, and she should absolutely be recognized for that. We wish her the very best in her next exciting chapter of her professional life, and she will definitely be missed for sure. Under 4B, classified personnel resignations, Sandra Brandenburg as nursing assistant at Henryville campus is resignation effective in May. Cheyenne Ellis, Borden custodian, resignation. Paula Hargis, Henryville cafeteria resignation, and Susan Oberson, Henryville Elementary School track coach resignation. Moving down the list, there's nothing until we get to item 4F. I'd like to recommend to the board the employment of Melissa Nasby as daycare worker at Henryville Elementary School. Also like to recommend Joy Standiford as part-time cafeteria at our Borden campus. I'd like to recommend Patsy Kaiser as our SLPA at the Henryville campus. I'd like to recommend Devin Snell as inclusion paraprofessional at Henryville High School, and Gabrielle Greenwell as a daycare worker at Henryville Elementary School. Item 4H, we have a couple substitute teachers. First, H1, Shay Calfee, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, as a sub-teacher, and item H2, Kayla Hamlin as a sub-teacher, and item H3, Alicia Smith as cafeteria sub, and there were no ECAs at this time.
Okay.
Keep moving along. Item 5, field trips. A1, kindergarten through 6th grade to Extreme Anasium Trampoline Park. Item B1, Spanish 2 classes to Taco City and El Mercedito Grocery. Item B2, BHS Sophomore Prom Committee, checking venues for prom, date to be announced in March. And then item D1, 9th through 12th grade to Kentucky Center of the Arts, and that's Henryville High School, I apologize. Under fundraisers, D1, Henryville High School Swim Team Bake Sale, Henryville High School Baseball Team selling old baseball jerseys during a basketball game. Item D3, Henryville High School Tri-M Honor Society Teacher Lip Sync Battle. Are principals involved in that, Ms. Weiss?
I asked him to do something, and I'm thinking that's what it might be.
Well, there you go. Good luck to
I
you.
don't know.
Item, I'm
You want to
sorry.
practice right
Your
now?
kids will
But
give you
it's
some
not
good
a big
ideas.
trial.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to do, but I have a suspicion that's it.
Item D4, Henryville High School Middle School and Elementary Robotics Spaghetti Dinner. Under donations, I'd like the board to accept the following donations. Item 7A1, Borden Church of Christ, $510 for the Angel Tree Program for Borden High School. Item B1, the Borden Braves Foundation, $500 Coaches versus Cancer shirts. Item B2, the Borden Braves Foundation, $500 to Kinder Senior Night. And item B3, Mr. Andres, Andres, I'm new, guys. $200 for boys basketball. Under item D, Henryville High School, Wright Brothers Implement Sales, $200 to the girls basketball. And item D2, Huddleston Transmission, $350 to the boys and girls varsity basketball. And that's consent agenda.
Okay. You've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Andy, is there a second?
I'll second.
Kevin? Beth, please have the record reflect that I abstained from all Wright Brothers items on the docket,
If any.
as well as 7B1.
Okay.
Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion passes. Board discussion action items. One, please.
Yeah, I'm asking the board to approve of stipends for the Borden-Henryville School Corporation dual credit teacher. These are stipends funded through our Title IV program. Right now, as it stands, those would go to Henryville High School for the work they're doing. Would love to see that also expand to the Borden High School campus in the future as well.
Dual credit or
What's that?
dual credits?
Did I skip one?
Were you talking
Approved for stipend dual credit teachers funded through Title I. That's what it-
to?
Yeah, I think funded through Title IV.
Okay. But
Those are two different things.
You said Henryville High School.
Well, I said right now, the people that are receiving those stipends would be Henryville High School folks, and hopefully we would build that capacity at Borden in the future. But right now, that's programming at Henryville.
It's already approved at Henryville.
Yeah, it's already the dual credit is part of the. Hold on just a second. It's to support the early college work at Henryville.
Okay, that's number 2 then. That's why I'm confused because.
Number one has Borden-Henryville School Corporation. It doesn't say anything about. That's going to cover both schools you're hoping, you're requesting.
Yeah, there's 3 different title fundings here, guys. Hold on, I apologize. Give me just a second. Yeah, these are. Yeah, I apologize. I think there is 3 on that one. I think there's one funded through Title IV. Oh, you're right. So you're right. That's second. Let me go back on that one. Number 1, let me say that one again. Okay, this is a stipend for anyone teaching dual credit offerings right now at both campuses, Borden and Henryville schools.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, and we have those going on at both. All
Thank
right.
you.
So act surprised when I say the same thing that I said before for number 2. Just act surprised here a second. I apologize. Thank you, Ms. Powell.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation for the dual credit teachers stipend. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Terry, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Kevin? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 2, please.
I've got some exciting news for you for number 2. I'm asking the board to approve of stipends for 2 early college coordinates at Henryville High School, funded through Title IV, and we are hoping to build capacity at Borden to have that as well.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, thank you. I caught you all off
That's
guard.
great news.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, I heard Kevin first.
I'll second.
Was that Adam?
Yes.
Okay. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Thank you. Item number 3, please.
All right, thank you. The approval of a BHSC leadership team stipend funded from our Title II grant allocated dollars, and that's to support the work a lot of our folks are doing to support our ongoing PLC work.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Andy, is there a second?
I'll second.
Terry? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 4, please.
Item 4, I'm asking for approval to implement the Monique Burr Foundation Child Safety Matters curriculum. This is curriculum that not only puts us with a state code that something needs to be enacted, it mainly focuses on anti-bullying measures for all of our kids, and every school district has to have something in place by September 15th of this year. I've reviewed the curriculum. I think it's not only appropriate, I think it handles some really delicate issues in the right way, especially for our part of the state and our kids. I think it handles it, affects it very, very nicely. Asking for approval, and that with your approval and our implementation of that would put us under state code. It would put us in good standing by September 15th.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Terry, do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Kevin? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Okay, motion approves. Number 5, please.
Number 5, asking the board's permission to approve to declare 5 STIGA, S-T-I-G-A, ping pong tables at Henryville High School obsolete, and for my inspection, those are beyond repair. But we need permission to get rid of those items because we don't have the storage at Henryville High School for broken ping pong tables.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Andy, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Adam? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion is approved. Item 6, please.
Item 6, kind of along the same theme, asking for approval to declare a Charleston 2-door reach and freezer obsolete at Henryville High School, and not only to get rid of that, if there's any scrap value to those doors, we would be searching that avenue as well.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Kevin, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Andy? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 7, please.
Item 7, asking for approval to purchase 12 wheeled risers for Borden Elementary School. We'll be purchasing them from Wanger. This is much needed after talking with Ms. Hurst. I think it's long overdue that we've got some risers that are a little outdated, and this not only can be used for their special programmings, for their different concerts and things, but I think it's an exciting addition for that building as well. Plans to fund that would be, we talked about it in some work sessions and some meetings before. We've got some previous bond dollars we need to sell down by September 1st of this year, and that money is there. To me, that's a perfect fit for those monies that go directly to our kids.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion to
I'll
approve?
make that motion.
Terry, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Kevin? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 8, please.
Item 8. Item 8's on the agenda, and I need to thank publicly Mr. Pat Bradshaw for his work on helping me compile the list to present to the board. Pat took on the heavy lift of getting myself listed. Ms. Thompson also was a great help with that. We've got a lot of buses that are beyond repair, and some buses that cost effective wise to repair them, they're not worth the money. So it's in, I can't only speak for me, I don't like a junkyard. And so we've got 10 buses that we need to dispose of and either sell or scrap. And the proceeds of those go back and work for our kids or possible future bus replacements in the transportation department as well.
So will we still have one or two in reserve?
Yeah, so the way it's, great question. So the way it stands now, we'll have at least 2 full-size buses at both campuses as spares in reserve if we need them. But yeah, the ones we have now, I could not put kids on these 10 buses that are on the list right now. They need to go. But that's a great question, Terry. We would have reserve buses at both campuses in the event we needed them.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Kevin, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Andy? Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 9, please.
Item 9 is the emergency addition. I'm asking approval for an emergency project for the construction of a discus area and shot put area at the Henryville High School. And just to remind the public and the board, apologize for not getting it on before, but that is an emergency addition we've got track season is upon us, coming up quickly. And as it stands right now, we could not hold those parts of a competitive track and field event without the construction of that. I have spoken with the architect that is working on our other capital projects, has been gracious enough to kind of take the lead on that. He still would be seeking 3 quotes. He's confident that there's enough local folks interested in doing that work, that could be done by the time track season starts. And whatever we do, if the board would choose down the road to do some additional capital project related things at that track area, these 2 we wouldn't have to redo them later. They would be permanent in regards of what we decide to do later, so it would be a waste of money down the road.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make that motion.
Andy? Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Terry? Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Immediately following our meeting here, we invite those who are in attendance to the back. Our friends at New Washington State Bank here in Henryville have been gracious to supply some cookies and some water. We would hope maybe some more folks would be here or to meet Dr. Comer, but since his daughter attends here at Henryville and he attends many of the activities.
They're sick of me already.
No, no, a lot of people already know you.
That's what it is.
But we want to thank our friends at New Washington State Bank for their generosity of the cookies and the water. So after we adjourn, we invite you back there for those. Our next regular board meeting will be on Monday, March the 17th. That will be at Borden High School at 7:30. Should we need an executive meeting, would be at 5:30. We will, Beth, have an executive meeting next Monday at 5:30 at the district office. So if there's no other announcements or business, the floor is open for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Kevin, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Adam? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. We are adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Mr. Wright, Ms. Thompson, thank you.